Alrighty. Everybody, welcome back. Mic's working. We're good.
All right.
Alright. Let me just double check the audio on this side, make sure we're good.
Running a little late.
We're running a little late. We were car shopping and
Ben
doing
was.
show prep. So,
Ben was.
we're good. Alright. Audio sounds great. Alright, everybody, welcome back to 100 Proof Whitetails. As you can tell by the title of the episode, the public comment period ended, month and a half back, and now they've implemented our new changes for the 2026 deer season. So we'll have our thoughts on that and much more this episode on 100 Proof Whitetails. So thank you all for tuning in. If you do enjoy this, give us a like, comment, and subscribe anywhere you listen to your podcasts, on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever you're checking this out on. We appreciate you and all the support, and we're going to roll the sponsors and then kick right into the conversation. So starting it off, sponsors are up here in the top corner, up by the Barbuck. Busy Bee Chiropractic and Wellness in Newark, New York. I just saw Dr. Britt here on Monday. Had me a sauna, and I'm feeling good. Can't wait. You picking a buck for the story?
Mm-hmm.
I figured you were doing that. So go see Dr. Britt over there at Busy Bee Chiropractic and Wellness. Get feeling better today. It'll really help you going forward with your archery, deer season, everything like that, and just overall feeling better, sleeping better, and doing better. So thank you, Dr. Britt, for your support. M&R Firewood Services here in Phelps, New York. Thank you, Meg and Rick, for all you guys do to support the channel and all of our events that we got going on. Oh, he's a good one. Check out their stand on 96 heading out of Phelps, New York. Also down by Smokin' Pete's on Seneca Lake. For all of your campfire bundle needs, your specialty smoking wood and firewood, reach out to Rick directly for pricing and information on those services for bulk deliveries and such. I'm sure he can help you out. Oh, he fits pretty good, dude.
Is he straight on there?
Yeah, pretty good.
You can kind of see him.
And then perfect timing, Pierce Metalworks.
Here's Metalworks. Yeah.
I'm giving you a run for your money.
Oh.
I was welding a little bit today.
Yeah. I seen that. Looked good.
Yeah.
But yeah, all your machining, fabricating needs, get a hold of me. We'll set you up. We've been cranking in the shop as usual, and be happy to help you out with any of your ideas, projects, repairs. What we got?
Yep. I got a new idea for you too for outdoor product prototype idea. So we can talk more about that and then let you guys know what we come up with. Phelps Fire Department, thank you Phelps Fire Department for having us, allowing us to have our youth day there last year, for supporting FFA and 4-H and everything like that. Great place to have your family get together, fundraising event, anything like that. Reach out to Phelps Fire Department. They got a great banquet hall. They got a full kitchen if you need that, bathrooms, good sized parking lot, as well as a club room area if it's the right kind of event. That might be available as well. So reach out to Phelps Fire. Thank you to all those that keep our community safe and first responders. Heritage Outdoor Sports, outdoor summer leagues have started. I have not shot yet. I need to start shooting to get my scores in. But I did shoot and took second place at Aerofest.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just missed placing on the field course. If I would have hit at least a 5 on the field course, I would have took first place. But
you had a 0?
Yeah. I had dropped one. I did drop one. After shooting perfect up to the last target. I was clean, dude. And then I'm like, oh, this one's probably like 50. And I shot it, and I'm like, ooh. Didn't give them enough. So, it's because I wasn't shooting Heritage Outdoor Sports for their summer league. So they got 2 courses now that kind of alternate different weeks. So go check them out. Pay for your leagues. You got plenty of time to still get it in. I say as long as you're starting by July, you should have your scores in by September. Enough to qualify. They're doing the blind draw partner thing too and all that other stuff too. So go check them out. Or if you need a new bow, need a tune-up, anything like that, Heritage can help you. Or a little bit of coaching. Anything. Anything outdoor related, especially archery. Heritage is our one-stop shop. Dahmer's Taxidermy. I'm sure he's going to be firing it up here pretty soon with, September season, less than 3 months away. 2.5 months away, September season.
That's part of the conversation.
Dahmer's is going to fire up the the boiler, and he's going to get ripping. And then finally, Whitetail Properties and Ranch and Farm Auctions here in the Finger Lakes. Speaking of Ranch and Farm Auctions, got an auction coming up in Schuyler County. Beautiful 90-acre farm. Just got the green light that we're moving forward with that today. So onward and upward with that. We got some new photographs for a couple of our listings, and stuff continues to just move. Inventory comes on the market, trickles off. It's real competitive and good time if you're buying and or selling. It's all about pricing and positioning and working with the right agent that helps you understand the strategy needed in either application. So reach out to Whitetail Properties today if you're selling in the Finger Lakes or anywhere in the country for your recreational, home on acreage, farm ground, timber ground, recreational ground, anything in between. We do even sell some commercial lots once in a while too. So thank you guys, and that's it. Rolling into the episode. I'm going to check the comments quick.
Yeah,
No comments.
So New York figured out what they were going to do.
Yep. They dropped the new regs.
So earn a buck is a thing.
Yep, earn a buck's a thing.
More.
There you go. I pulled it back up for you.
WMU units were added, 10 more.
Into the September season.
Into the September season, so the 9-day season.
Mm-hmm.
So 3P, 6P, 7F, 7H, 7J, 7R, 8H, 8R, 8S, and 9G now all have an antlerless 9-day season in September.
Mm-hmm. Which is going to hit 2 weekends now.
Yep. And now for
the 23 remaining.
the 23 remaining WMUs has a unlimited DMP quota. Hunters who harvest and report an antlerless deer using a DMP in the WMU with no DMP quota would be eligible to have the DMP automatically replaced for 2026 WMUs. These units include 1C, 3M, 3P, 3R, 3S, 4J, 6P, 7F, 7H, 7J, 7R, 8A, 8C, 8F, 8G, 8H, 8J, 8N, 8R, 8S, 9A, 9F, and 9G. Now, I believe 8H was listed in both.
Yep, the rest of the new ones were added into that for the 23.
So, you shoot a doe, report it.
You get a new tag.
You bring it in, you get a whole new tag. You can shoot 20 doe if you want.
Yeah.
It's unlimited.
Yeah, for those WMUs. I mean,
and you are allowed to hunt, I believe, the full month of September now, not the 9-day season.
So what I was reading was they were extending it in September. This on the DEC website says 9-day. What I heard was it was extending to longer in September.
So it might still just be
it might still be
they just
that
added a couple more
9-day
days because it was just a week.
Yep. So they might have added it to get 2 weekends basically out of it, I think.
Right. So it's not all the whole month of September.
It doesn't sound like it's the whole month of September. I know that was something that they were talking about putting on the table with it. So I guess let's unpack this first step of the 2026 change and kind of dive into that and our thoughts on it. The other thing with the DMP was you're allowed to apply for 4 DMPs now, 2 in WM units that have a quota. So if it's one that is a lower deer density, you can apply for 2 down there, and then you can apply for 2 DMPs and WMUs with no quota. So pretty similar to what it was before, but basically your 2 with no quota, it doesn't matter, like 8F, 8J, most of the ones that are in the antlerless season where we hunt traditionally that have a higher deer density, we could draw 4, you could sign over 2.
Unlimited sign-overs now.
And now it's unlimited sign-overs, that's the other thing. So that's all the DMP changes, I guess, as it relates to antlerless deer. So My potential issue with this is, I think it's going to result, and it's going to also, because of the other reason why increased DMP harvest is going to also negatively affect, I think, part of this. You're going to be killing more male antlerless deer, meaning button bucks, in doing this, because the incentive, and we'll dive into the conversation with that side of it too. You're going to be harvesting more button bucks, because what happens when you shoot that antlerless deer, Nate?
It dies.
Well, yeah, you get your second buck tag now.
Oh, yeah.
So to be able to get your second buck tag, before it was you waited till the appropriate season. Now they've changed it where you have a buck tag, and you don't get your second buck tag until you've killed an antlerless deer. So,
and they're working on the details on how
to prove harvest.
to prove the harvest. They said something about saving the head.
I heard that in one of the Q&A areas today when I was reading through some of the forums and
maybe
and
they'll
pages.
you'll have to take it to, or at least if you cut up your own deer, you'll have to have your like a witness sign off on it, like your processor.
A check station. I don't know what the process is going to be for this, dude.
You might have to take a picture and submit it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's not a lot of answers with it. There's still a lot of unknowns. Again, we're less than 24 hours with this. What do you see being some of the? I guess we'll start with the benefits. What's some of the benefits to this, Nate?
Well, let's just keep going with the rules, I think. And then
Okay. We'll break it all down.
So you get your second buck, you shoot your doe, you get your second buck. Now, if you shoot your first buck, you don't get your second buck.
Correct.
You have to shoot an antlerless deer to get your second buck. And let's say you go out in September season. This is how I'm taking what I read. You shoot a doe. You prove it. You get your second buck tag. Now, both of your buck tags are just antlered tags now. And they aren't regular season tags. They aren't bow season tags, muzzleloader tags. You can use both of those buck tags in any season.
That's the way I'm reading it.
That's how I'm understanding it. You can go out in September, shoot your doe, get your second buck, and you can shoot 2 bucks legally now with your bow.
In the same set.
In the same set, same day.
And that goes for...
You get that buck parade going by?
Thump, thump. But also, this creates the bang bang opportunity for the rifle too. Because that's then no longer it's no longer a specific weapon or season tag. It is now just a general buck tag.
It's just an antlered tag.
It's just an antlered tag.
You can use it
to our understanding.
Throughout bow season. Now, I believe the season dates are all the same.
Other than maybe the September.
Minus the
changing.
2-day extension of the September season from what we're reading. So, your bow season, your gun season, regular season, and then your late muzzleloader bow season. I believe the dates are all the same. But now, you just, instead of having tags for specific seasons, your tags, whether they're buck or doe tags, they are valid for every single season, minus the September season.
Yep. So before, the only time you could shoot 2 bucks in the same sit was in the late muzzleloader season if you still had both tags.
Yeah.
Because your regular season turned into an either sex in the primitive season.
Yes.
That was the only other time prior to this that you could kill both bucks in the same set. Which we always joked that that'd be something cool to do. We never had the opportunity to it because we've,
It just didn't work out in the hunt, or we punched
weren't sitting on 2 tags. Weren't sitting on 2 tags. Yep. So, they said they've had over 1,000 public comments on this for the regulatory proposals, everything like that. They're closely monitoring the success in the process to reduce antlerless harvest with these new regulations is the goal. So they're looking to reduce antlerless. I don't think that's actually worded right. They're looking to increase antlerless harvest by reducing antlerless deer numbers. Basically, I think they just wrote it wrong. Somebody at the DC is using ChatGPT too much, and they're having some ChatGPT slop there. So it says DC will require report contact law enforcement. Yeah, so this is really poorly written. ChatGPT. They're gonna do law enforcement field checks or require hunters to provide proof of the antlerless deer harvest within 7 days, if requested by DEC. Proof may include a photograph, a deer's head, or contact information from where the deer was processed. So that's them trying to, double check the system, which we said was going to be a main concern of this. Is like, okay, I shot my doe with first deer antlerless season in September, Nate. I'll take my 2 buck tags for October 1st. So, yeah, I think there obviously should be some more checks with that. And I think there should be some more checks because the day and the age we live in, dude, you can upload a photo to Facebook, Instagram, any of these websites right from your phone. You should be able to build an app that you can take a picture of your deer to attach with your harvest report. You should be able to report. If they're really trying to go paperless, you should be able to take a picture of your deer with that respective tag on the app or whatever, and you should be able to send it off real time. Mm-hmm. Like, boom, this is the deer, this is me, piece of paper on the deer, just like you see in a Facebook ad.
You don't even need a picture of you.
Yeah, or whatever.
You just need your tag and the deer.
Yep, and the same photograph or whatever. In this day and age, I think we are getting to be to that point. The spin-off to that is older hunter populations, communities or individuals that choose less technology but still want to enjoy the hunting in the outdoors, mainly like Amish Mennonite communities,
Grandpa Billy,
off-grid livers, Grandpa Billy, my dad, who's going to make my sister record all of his deer harvests. That's what we've done the past couple of years is I've reported his harvest or my sister has for him. So, because the phone's just been a crapshoot. We've been using the app the last couple of years, and it's been pretty good. And they're going to monitor the outcomes associated with the new Earn a Buck before considering whether further DMP issuance is appropriate. But again, at this point, no DMPs will be issued. Okay, wait a minute. This is so poorly written with ChatGPT that it is crazy, dude. It doesn't even say the issue. Oh, Northern Zone. Okay. This is interesting. This should have been a key point. Okay, so I was just reading it wrong. The regulation finalized today are separate from the changes proposed in the state's legislature, granting the DEC new authority to issue DMPs in the Northern Zone WMUs. If the bill is adopted, DEC would monitor outcomes associated with the new Earn a Buck before considering whether future DMP issuance is appropriate. So Northern Zone would be basically everything from Syracuse north, or the thruway north once you got to Syracuse. That's Northern Zone. Mm-hmm. Oswego County, Jefferson, Lewis, into the Adirondack Park. Now, some of those areas, dude, have very, very high deer densities. Mm-hmm. So that's my statement before I read this next statement. Future DMP issuance is appropriate to achieve population and management objectives. No DMPs would be issued in these units during the 2026 season. So the way I'm reading that is the Northern Zone is going to have no DMPs. That's the way this press release reads to me. That can't be right.
No, because...
You know what I mean?
Well, I think the ones they added
are all downstate. It's all Southern Zone stuff.
Yeah.
That's a bigger shock change to me if they're not doing anything in this Northern Zone at all with DMPs issuance for 2026.
Maybe they're just focusing.
So how are you gonna earn a buck? Do you have to come down to Wayne County and shoot your buck or shoot your doe, so you can go back up in the northern zone and shoot your second buck?
Are separate from the. It just says they're separary. It's separate from the changes above. So I don't know if the northern zone will be earn a buck.
Okay, so the northern zone might still be more traditional, but how are they going to do that? How are you going to keep that straight? You know what I mean? How do they know where the hunter hunts? Dude, if you're in Oswego County, you can step 1 foot in northern zone, 1 foot in southern zone, and be on the same property. Like, I don't know. It goes back to, I don't think there's good enough reporting systems to begin with the way that this is all done. We would love to hear some viewer comments on this. I would love to hear some folks' thoughts on this. I'm sure Bo's out there somewhere, or maybe he's already banned on Facebook at this point. I'm sure he's like the old cartoon with steam coming out of his ears right now, and he's red in the face.
You can't handle it.
He's thinking every deer is going to get killed with a crossbow October 2nd. You know, it's going to change some things. I guess we'll start with it, kind of our opinions on it. How is that going to change how you hunt this season, Nate? And I'm going to be straight up honest how it's going to change how I hunt this season. I'm going to be honest with it, too. My biggest honest thing with it is I'm killing a deer in September, and I'm going to run into October with 2 buck tags in my pocket. Because if the opportunity presents itself, like, that's my honest take on it. As what I'm going to do as a sportsman is I'm going to shoot my doe to be able to have that opportunity at a resource because of where and how I hunt and manage the herd, and similar to you, where if 2 older age class bucks present themselves and I can kill them because I've done my homework, I've done my scouting, I've done all my stuff to put myself in the position to kill 2 bucks in the archery season.
Well,
I'm not taking more bucks than, is legally allowed either. Yeah. Like, that's the legal way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I mean, to get my second buck tag, that's what I would do. But, I mean, I've already gone out, shot a doe early October, or gone out in September and shot a doe. So, like, my style of hunting or how I hunt really doesn't change. It doesn't change, like, what I'm doing. It's just, all right, now I have a little more initiative to go out in September and shoot that doe. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they want.
I think that's their underlying goal with it. I see what they're trying to do. I think
because that's to get the trophy hunters out there, or the guys that are just looking for the big bucks. Mm-hmm. That's their main goal. I would say, I mean, that's not a bad strategy to go about it, because guys like you and me, we're like, a nice doe presents itself, I'm feeling it, yeah, maybe. But now it's like, well, I want that second buck tag, and now I really want to shoot both my bucks in the bow season. I want to hunt hard in bow season.
Yeah, and I think it comes back to the way we hunt and the way that we enjoy the outdoors is we want to beat that deer in a chess match. And when the guns come out, the chess match changes a lot. And it's not, I don't want to say it just changes. Like, it's not better, it's not worse, it just changes. I can't tell you how many times I've killed a deer in late October, early November, and been like, I'm happy, but I'm also like, I'm missing the next 2 weeks. Like,
not gonna miss it now.
Now it's like, okay, I can kill a buck I want to kill still, and be like, the next morning, or stay on the stand, or go back out that afternoon if we're not partying too hard, and go try to kill another buck. Mm-hmm.
I like that part of it.
I think that is a cool part of it.
I think that, like, the more serious hunters, guys like you, me, some of our friends,
I guess invested. I wouldn't I wouldn't say serious or not serious, because there's some serious guys that love it, but they just don't invest the time or whatever into it with it. Sure.
So I think what it will do, I think, all right, we go out, I shoot both of my bucks in bow season. There's going to be opportunity for more camaraderie with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about a whole lot about over pushing my spot, or, like somebody wants to go hunting with me, but I'm like, yeah, but I still got my buck tag.
Sure.
I want to.
If you got both punches,
if you go with me, I want to put you in a good spot and put you in a good position. Or I feel like maybe you could it would bring a little more of the fun and camaraderie back into it. But if you only kill one buck with your bow, or you don't, then you're still in the grind.
Yep. So flip side, you've been in that grind all bow season. You're carrying both buck tags into gun season.
Yeah, you shoot 2 bucks with a rifle.
Yeah. So again, that's kind of the slippery slope with it, dude. So like, because this is going to be in somebody's comment. I know it's coming. Now that we talked about regular season killing both of our tags, both of our bucks. You're going to have that guy, and it might have already been the same guy already doing it. Let's just be honest. That shoots the first 2 deer he sees on opening morning. Well, before it was a 4-point and a 6-point, and that was illegal. Now, if he shot his doe during the September or the bow season or whatever, that's legal, and he can do that, and he can whack 2 bucks. So a lot of guys are going to say that that's more effective, or some guys say more easy to kill him with a firearm, and in a way it is. You reach out and touch them. You don't have to worry about angles. You don't have to worry about shot placement as much. I guess you can. Your what do I want to call it? Your range of error. That's not the right word I'm looking for. Margin of error. It changes a lot. Archery versus firearm. Frank LaValle did comment in and says, not crazy about the unlimited doe tags. Yeah, I mean, I am and I'm not. I'm not saying I'm crazy. I'm not saying I'm not crazy about it. The thing with the unlimited doe tags is, if you're worried about it from like a farmer perspective or something like that, most of them are getting crop damage. They're getting Deer Management Assistant Program tags, the DMAP tags for crop damage and stuff like that. So they're probably putting more of a hurt. And we've seen that on our property specifically, that the eastern side that used to hold way more does, they've started shooting way more, whether it was in the September list or the September antler list or in the summertime season for crop damage. We haven't had to kill near as many does over on that side of the farm now, which is nice in a way, because it takes some pressure off of us. And I think what the DEC really needs to do to partner with this program and make this much more effective with this program too is have more donation centers open as well. If you're really looking to see the resource harvested heavier in a way and utilized for better forest production, better agricultural production, people throw in the less car incidences a year, all that stuff. If that's your overall goal, is to reduce population to achieve those set goals, forest regeneration and everything else, is you need to give people an outlet to put these animals to use that they're harvesting.
Yeah, because no one's eating that much.
Not many people are eating more than 2 or 3 deer a year, unless your name's Jesse. But 3 deer a year for us, dude, that's a lot of meat. Especially you throw a buck in that equation or 2. And we give a lot away. We do a lot of jerky. We do a lot of specialty stuff. Like, you know, there's only so much you can do. And if, like, the buck I shot last year, dude, I got over 80 pounds of fucking meat out of that deer. Like, it was a big deer. I got a lot of meat, a lot of meals out of that deer,
I
dude.
still got a lot of burger. And we ate a lot of burger.
I got sausage from 2 years ago that I'm trying to get burnt
Which I'll
through.
probably bring a bunch into work, and people love to scarf it up.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll save a bunch and
Mhm.
probably do the burger jerky.
Yep. The mash
gum.
and then
Yeah.
let it season
I'll
for a
probably do
week.
some of that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like Dono, dude. Like I took all of Dono and I made Dono sausage. I still have Dono sausage,
Mm-hmm.
pan sausage.
I mean,
So-
I could buy. I got the stuffer and everything. I could buy just some sausage seasoning and just make a bunch of link sausages out of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's options, dude. I got roasts. I got roasts I got to do in the crock pot, you know, from a couple years ago. Like, out of a lot of the does I shot, you know, last year I only shot one doe, you know, one. Let me back up a little bit. One, the way our management style is on the farm, I didn't have opportunities in a harvest situation time of the year to shoot a doe with the kind of parameters we put in place, the way we target our does on the properties we hunt. I didn't have that. And then also, the times I did was kind of during that magical week where we don't blast the snot out of them. You know, just because it's prime, you know, prime buck time. That's not when I'm shooting my does and pushing stuff around. But we also haven't seen the doe numbers and the fawn numbers. That's the other thing. The fawn numbers per doe from our stand observations as well either. So I don't know if our recruitment's going down because of predation, if our recruitment's going down because of displacement from the does, kicking out button buck fawns. I don't know what the reasoning is, but like we're not seeing as many younger antlerless deer compared to older, or I would say mature to advanced mature aged antlerless deer in our stand observations. We were seeing a lot of mature antlerless deer, but not as many immatures as we've seen.
I see a lot of them driving around.
Yeah, no, I do
They're
too.
everywhere.
Yep. So, I don't know.
I mean, you're going to have your guy that goes out there and goes nuts and shoots a bunch of deer, but, I mean, I think most guys, most seasoned hunters, they're just going to go out there, going to shoot whatever they always shoot, or try to shoot whatever they always shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have the guy that goes out there and just stacks them up, but that guy's only hurting himself, you know?
Yeah, so Frank has a good comment. I love a doe to eat anyhow. With all the tags they were giving out and sign over tags, I don't know anyone around here that didn't have a pocket full of tags. So yeah, so these areas that they're making unlimited, it's not like the 6 or 10 total deer you could kill before legally, before they made this change.
Yeah, I think
You
it
could
was like
basically
7.
You could basically kill.
It
I
was
think it's
7.
10.
It was 7 before the sign over tags. So I think it was 9.
9, that might be it. 9 or whatever.
You could get 2 sign over tags.
You could draw 2 in each draw.
You could draw 4.
4 total.
Yeah.
You could get your extra antlerless.
And then you get
bow muzzleloader.
I
Either
could
sex.
sign 2 of my tags.
You
over
could sign
to
2 over to me.
And then your bucks.
And then your buck.
Both bucks.
Well, I counted the either sex
Yeah.
antlerless.
So 9.
Yeah.
You could kill 9 deer every
You
year.
could kill 9 deer every year and
Who's
like
doing
8
that?
F, 8J.
I tagged out 1 year.
You did 9 one year?
I did 7.
I was going to say,
I
I did
tagged
7.
out of my own tag.
I've done 7.
I've never shot 9 in a year, but I did do 7 one year.
I did 7 and I only killed 1 buck that year.
Mhm.
So, I did a sign over that year.
It was a busy year.
That's a lot of meat, dude. Like, I don't know if like people understand. Like, it's I think of the Lowe's Facebook photo ad when they like sell the freezers and they're like 1 deer, 2 deer, 3 deer freezers. That's what I think with that. And it's like, even if you had like my big chest freezer that we have out in the garage, 5, maybe I could fit 5 deer in that freezer, dude.
I know, but even if
And that's a big chest. That's bigger than the bar, dude.
But even if you, I've had my venison vacuum sealed, Daryl's Way with the multiple saran wrap layers, freezer paper. I've had it a whole bunch of different ways, and usually after a year, that's no good.
No. Oh yeah, I think I 2, maybe 3 years tops.
Man, I mean, honestly,
if I'm finding stuff from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's going to jerky. It's going in jerky.
It's got a funky taste to it. Especially, well, burger you can get away with a little longer.
Steak.
But like the steaks and stuff,
steaks gotta get
super gamey after a year.
Well, they get freezer burn. It's more surface area to get freezer burn. Colin comments in, says, I agree with Nate. Just said what with Nate just said. I don't think it will change anything for the majority of hunters. Who the F wants to kill that many deer in 1 year? That's a lot of work. Where the hell are you going to put that much meat? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is if
you're going to kill that many deer, you're just killing them to kill them. You're not eating them.
And I also want to say
that's
that like
so much deer.
That's not a. It's not a. This is what Nate does on his property. This is what Ben does on his property. This is what Colin and Frank and whoever else do on their property. You need to look at your own property. Are there people that should shoot 20 deer on their farm every year? Probably.
Hanson.
Probably. And they do. And they do pound the snot out of them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, like, there's places where this is a good thing, but there's other places where, like, maybe you need to look at it from the lens we put on it, where we adopted this rule a long time ago, and I think it just goes back to the weird elementary rhyme that got brainwashed into my head as a child, where it was like 5 or more, raise the score, 4 or less, let it rest. When we have a doe group come in, and it's antlerless deer, fawns included, if it's 5 or more, and it's not the last week of October and the first 2 weeks of November, basically leading up to gun season, in that 2-week stretch, if you have 5 or more antlerless deer come in a group, and this is, and we'll dive into a little bit of the reasoning for this, but if it's 5 or more in a group that come in, like, they're all together, you can kind of tell, they're all looking back at each other, everything like that, they're moseying together, feeding and transitioning, you take one. Because we had paper, we had tags, we could do that, and we did that for a number of years, and there was a lot of years where we killed 5, 6, 7 deer a piece a year, killing does super heavy, dude. Like, I have a whole box in there of freaking doe tags that I have saved from killing does over the years.
I mean, I really do like the idea of, like, because I would like to get my son more involved with it, but I get so serious in bow season, and it is kind of hard because I don't have a lot of those, like, tower blinds set up in good bow spots. They're all kind of gun spots. So, bringing my 3-year-old up in a stand, it's tough. I mean, I've brought him out there and we've hung out in them before, but when he sees a deer, he's not gonna stop moving. If I'm out there in bow season, I'm a lot more serious, and in gun season, if I can hunt serious all bow season, I feel like it's gonna open up more opportunities for me to bring him out and feel more comfortable bringing him out.
Sure. No, I can definitely see that.
And kind of
100%.
Start getting him a little more acclimated.
Another good point, and I'm sure this is my mom and dad, watching the show tonight. 9 deer, $100 now a piece to process.
120 at Daryl.
That adds up. If you're not cutting your own, and that's where I'm going back to this, is if the DC really wants to drop these numbers, and if the average household is
I'm
eating...
going to stop hunting, and I'm going to process deer. $125 a pop. Bring them over.
It's like, I quit my job. Yeah. I just cut deer.
I'm going to cut and burn metal and cut deer.
Yep.
Bring them over.
Yep. We're building parts and, breaking down deer in the same shop.
Freaking cutting steaks and cutting parts, baby.
Yep, you got it. Running right through the CNC.
Get that bandsaw. Have to swap blades out of the bandsaw. We're cutting meat today.
Yep. No, and that goes back to what we were saying with, like, if the average household is eating, let's just call it 1 to 2 deer. In an average hunting household,
I would say 1 to 2.
1 to 2.
Average.
What are you going to do with deers 3, 4, 5? Not even getting close to 9, but 3, 4, and 5 if you shot them.
I mean, if you have the number of properties and you have people that you can give these deer to that don't hunt but enjoy eating venison, like I have a few friends that always ask me every year, and they're good friends of mine, you know, guys I work with, and I appreciate them. Sure. So if I get the opportunity or I'm in a situation that I feel comfortable shooting one for them, you know, I'll do
or
that.
I need to take another doe or two or whatever, sure.
Or in the past where I had more properties to hunt, you know, I could space those, like that year I shot 7 deer, I spaced it out over 3 properties.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I'm not taking 7 deer off of the 160 acres I can hunt, because that's just not
That's
smart.
not sustainable.
That's not smart.
Yep. So, yeah, no, that's a huge part of it,
so
dude.
If you have that luxury of hunting multiple spots, and you have people that are willing to take a deer and pay for the processing and pick it up, be like, hey, I'll drop it off to the processor. I'll let you know when it's done. Go down there, pick it up, and
we'll give them your phone number. You just go pay for it.
Yeah, go pick it up and pay for it. It's yours.
Yep. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, and we're not. And let me just put this over the top of it. We're not saying that we're selling the deer we're killing or harvesting. What we're saying is, a family wants the meat, wants the venison. They can pay for the processing. We shot it.
They can pay the $100.
We dressed it. We drug it out of the woods. We're not taking anything for that. You can pay your $120 and pay the processing and have it all wrapped up in nice saran wrap and freezer paper.
Or I've done it where they give me the $120 and I go down, pay for it, and I bring it to them.
Yeah, pick up and delivered.
Yeah, with
no extra money.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about people like harvesting deer for hire.
I mean, that's worth it to me, just knowing that the meat's.
But I think there's also a lot of folks that are falling on hard times with food now, and I think this is a good point where there needs to be a bigger push for these venison donation stops.
We should have one in Lyons.
I think Darryl could be a great avenue for that. Even Andy and those guys cutting over there could be a great avenue for that, you know. So, for the Venison Donation Coalition, and I think there needs to be more opportunities, because our closest one is what, Dundee? We looked it up? Or something ridiculous?
I'm not driving a
deer. I can't...
Almost an hour away.
I can't logistically say that it's worth me driving a deer an hour almost each way to donate.
Life's too busy, especially now.
You know,
so... And then back when I had the time to do it, that wasn't on my mind.
No, it was, hey, dude, we're going to get another 6-pack, and we're going to cut this other deer up tonight, yeah? Okay, yeah, let's go cut this other fucking deer up.
Whether we eat it or not, it is what it is.
Yeah, so, no, it's, dude, it's, you can agree with it, disagree with it, whatever, you know, form or function you want to do with it, but that's kind of the matter of the fact of what it is. The changes are here. They're going to run them for a couple years, see how they are changing or not changing the harvest. I don't think it's going to change the numbers that much, to be perfectly honest with you.
The guys that are into it and the guys that are hunting, they're just going to do what they do.
Yeah.
They're going to hunt how they hunt, and they're going to kill what they're
honestly,
going to kill every year.
And we said that, like,
I would say the average guy, like serious hunter, probably kills, 4 to 5 deer a year.
Yeah, so the big thing I think with this is the guy that was, we'll just call it, 1 out of every 4 years, because you and me still aren't killing both bucks every year necessarily. But if a guy's, because above average is killing a deer or killing a buck. We broke these numbers down several episodes ago, and we should have did a little bit more prep work. Maybe we'll revisit it with the data numbers, because we broke it down to how many were literally killing a buck versus 2 bucks, and it was such a small number killing 2 bucks. I think the guys that are killing 2 bucks are already killing a doe or two as well. they're effective killers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know,
They got
and they're
some
managers
stuff
with
figured
it.
out.
So, that's my biggest thing is there's a lot of guys like you said. I'm just kind of adding to your point and agreeing with you in that is the guys that are doing what they do and killing are gonna keep being killers. Like this isn't gonna change it for that. Do I think it's gonna get abused? I think the system already gets abused. It's just people just playing the rules different ways. You know,
New York State can pay me $75,000 a year, and I'll just spend all year going out shooting deer. Give me a number.
Yep.
I'll go out, pay me $75,000 a year, and I'll just be the what do they call
Assassin.
those? What do they call those tags that the farmers get?
Nuisance.
Yeah, I'll just be the nuisance guy. I'll just go around and just stack them up.
What do I got? I got 4
How much
farms.
fun that would
I got
be.
4 farms in Wayne County.
What do you do for a living? I just stack deer.
I stack deer and then drop them off at processors and they donate them to the hungry.
I stack deer like freaking
Cordwood.
Yeah, you know, like you ever loaded a hay wagon? I'm doing that with deer. That would be fun.
Good comment
That would
here.
be a lot of fun.
Good comment here by Josh. I mean, we've all gone through our killing phase, dude. Like, and
I'm saying that was my job. I woke up every morning and that's my job.
Dude, there were years where, like you said, it's like 7, 8 deer a year. It's a lot of work, dude, or it's a lot of money. Like, it just is, you know, because time is money.
And a lot of us serious guys kind of treat hunting as like a job.
Yeah.
It's a job. It's got to get done. This has to get done if I'm going to be successful.
Yep.
I have to do this if I'm going to be successful. It turns into almost a labor of love.
Yeah. We haven't even talked about the buck story yet, or like what we've been doing on our own personal properties. We've just been diving into this.
We can hit that in the next one.
Yeah.
Well, we got to tell your buck story.
We got to tell the buck story, but we'll hit these couple comments with it. Josh says, I'm curious to see the long-term effects of this. With my cruise experience, I am not particularly hunting in an area with big ag that has an influx of does. Fair point. It's heavy timber, Steuben County. We had a literal ratio of 1 buck to 1 doe. So now if we want to shoot a second buck, we will be forced to shoot a doe, even though we don't have enough property to sustain that type of killing. I like the idea, but I also understand for some that it is not sustainable to do that. How are they going to prove someone shoots a doe and doesn't just get a second buck tag? So
they haven't completely figured that out.
Yeah, so they're saying they're gonna have a staff member check it, a photograph, something like that. There's gonna be more clarification going forward with that reporting process or how that's gonna work. I think you should be able to attach a photo to your harvest just like a post on Facebook, essentially, in a way, similar to this comment stream. But no, I totally understand that down in Steuben, Chemung, Allegheny, Tioga, Big Woods, you know, southern tier woods, like your doe density is not there. So like for those guys down there to shoot a doe, you know, they might only be seeing 8, 10, a dozen doe on their 100 acres over a season.
Yeah.
You know, so I totally get that. And that's a fair point that if, like he's saying, 1-to-1 buck to doe ratio, I think that's very, very possible. It's probably because of the amount of bears. They killed a lot of bears on that farm this year. I sold that farm, by the way. So, and that's just the nature of the deer down there. It's different. It's different in mixed ag ground than it is in forested ground. Your density is lower, and I think those guys down there are it's gonna be a challenge. And I think a lot of them are gonna maybe go outside of where they normally hunt, or maybe it's knock on a few farmers' doors and be like, hey, you need some doe shot? You know, so it might increase the harvest. I'm curious on how their estimated report or their reporting percentage changes in their harvest report and how the numbers change in relation to that. So, yeah, I think there's possible holes in the system with the way it's being proposed with it. This is another good comment that just came in. With AI, can anyone have, quote, proof of their harvest? Hey, chat, put me with a photo of this deer today on, we'll say September 17th, 2026. I was going to say June, but that wasn't going to be right.
Yeah, I don't know. You can still tell the difference in an AI photo, though.
There's some of them, dude, that are getting damn good, though.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So that's a fair point. You know, is AI gonna roll over on that too? There's some things you can see.
I don't think majority will go to that extent, but I think people will. People
or say that, yeah.
People always go to the extreme.
Or I shot one. Hey, Nate, here's the doe head.
Yeah. Put your tag on.
Unless they're gonna start ripping molars out or something like that. I would say if they're gonna check the deer head, maybe they take it with them or something. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't get passed around and it's like, hey, this is the official group earn a buck doe.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, it's possible.
Again, there's always possibilities for people to play in the gray, but like we always say with it, why would I cheat in a game to win? That doesn't do anything for me.
Less satisfaction.
That doesn't do anything for me, dude. It's like cheating the system to win the game, like that.
Yeah.
I want to beat the game, playing by the rules. Like I want to.
Yeah, there's more satisfaction in that.
100%. Frank says State Land's going to take the biggest hit.
Could be.
I could see that. You know, guys going out there in September trying to just pound ground, trying to get a doe down to have an opportunity at the second buck. You know, because again, now the DEC is trying to change a culture that we have in New York. Our culture is you've always had 2 buck tags. Well, for as long as you and I have hunted. We can't speak to it. Maybe we talk to Grandpa Billy or my dad or guys that have been hunting for 40, 50 years
Back
or
on
whatever.
The
party system doe tags and stuff like that to get their input on it. But you know, 20 years we've been hunting. Not quite 20 because we could hunt at 16. We couldn't hunt at 12 back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so 15, 16 years that we've been hunting or whatever it is, 20 years we'll call it. It's always been 2 bucks. You always got your bow tag and you always got your gun tag if you had the courses for it. So now you're changing the culture where you don't have to have, you know, your bow stamp anymore, Nate. Mm-hmm. Honestly, you could shoot your deer in the antlerless season in September, not hunt bow season, and go out open a day of rifle season with 2 buck tags.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's
people that'll do it.
There's guys that can do that. There's guys that could go out there and shoot their doe in October 1st because they didn't hunt the September season. Maybe they're too close to the suburb and they can't shoot a gun.
Mm-hmm.
They go shoot their doe October 1st, and then they shoot their 1 buck that they have a tag for October 1st, and they shoot their next buck October 2nd because they reported their doe tag. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes so many... Yeah. I don't know.
Colin says it is a job. Can't half-ass it to get the results you want. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how you got to... If you want to be successful at something, you kind of got to treat it like a... You
gotta scout. You gotta hang your stands.
You gotta put the sweat in. You gotta put the money into it. There's always that. It's
definitely time. Time is the big one.
Yeah.
The money side of it, you can play around with what you do and how you do it effectively and whatever.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's definitely a job. If you want to be successful, you're gonna
consistently successful. 100%.
You gotta work for it.
Yeah. And then John Rose says the bigger problem will be 2 bucks during the regular season or even bow season, increased buck kills, in my opinion. I think there's going to be some increase in the buck. I think it's going to I don't think it's going to change the numbers at all. I honestly don't. Because the opportunity's still out there of basically the same number of days. And we were talking about this before we went on the show. There's states that do their entire antlerless harvest in like 7 freaking days. I mean, even us as a state, most of our most of our total deer harvest, a majority of it is on 1 day or 2 days if you call it opening weekend. That's where a majority of our deer are killed in New York, is in those 2 days. Out of all bow season, all gun season, all late season, all early season, majority of the deer in our total harvest are killed in 2 days. I think that less season length increases the harvest because of less opportunity. You get, like you said, you get increased effort. Increased effort kills more deer. Where you span that out and you make it lackadaisical or lazy or, you know, the hobby guy or whatever that's like, yeah, I want to get out. And it's like, maybe they'll go out opening day. But maybe they only go out at one other sit after that. You know, maybe they can't get out of work or whatever it might be. But if you only had 7 days or 10 days to go hunt with your firearm, your most effective killing weapon, that's where I'd probably put my vacation time, Nate. Mm-hmm. Is in that 7-day window to kill those animals.
Yeah.
Rather than like, you got this guy over here on first week of November, 3 guys over here on the second week of November or the 4th week of November because that's what the moon guide said, or whatever the reason is. If that is the 7 days, right here is our gun season, I guarantee you everybody's work schedule would be like, we're taking days off during that gun season.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
So I think... Or they're just, they don't have any vacation and they're possibly risking getting fired and going hunting.
And then and then it's Thursday and season ends tomorrow, Nate. I haven't killed a deer yet, let alone a buck or a doe.
You're probably gonna.
You're gonna kill a deer.
If you want the meat, you're gonna.
If you want to kill a deer, you're gonna kill a deer and be like, well, the weather looks like rain on Friday. Season ends, so I can't go out. So I'm gonna kill my deer on Thursday.
So what do you want to do? You want to kind of like just be like, all right, let's ease the show off, tell the buck story, call it good, or do you want to keep rolling for a little while with the hot topic? And
I mean, hot topic's good. We're at 59 minutes. I see what you did there. You saw the 59.
Yeah, we're at our hour mark.
Yep.
So do you want to save the story for maybe a less, and keep talking about the topic for a little bit, or do you kind of just want to like?
No, I think
lead the show off with a nice little story. And
yeah, I think that's, if anybody wants to drop some comments in on your thoughts or your takes on the harvest or the season changes for this upcoming season.
I feel like at this point we're just going in a merry-go-round.
Yeah, we're going in a circle. We're bouncing from comments and comments. If anybody has a comment or their thoughts they want to share with the chat, we'll obviously air them. We'll dive into them a little bit. I'm going to tell the story of this buck over here, which is my first buck I killed on video, which is a cool kind of story.
Do you have a name for him? Or this before you were naming deer?
This is before I was naming deer. This is the year, because this is the only buck I killed this year. This is the year that I was talking about that I killed 7 or 8 of them. Mm-hmm. I'd have to look back at my tags. This was the year I did it, because I had bought a brand new bow that year, and I went hog wild.
Hell yeah!
So it was a cool story for that kind of tie into it. So we'll obviously take your questions and comments for what you guys think of it. But this is the Bow 8 from over at Grandma's. Let me see what the year is on this. 2013. So we're gonna dive back 13 years ago.
13. What was mine? I think we added mine 11 years ago.
11 years ago. So
last week or last episode.
Yeah, 13 years ago.
We're dragging some oldies out.
Yeah. So this was the second year or second time. So it probably was the third year ish total. This was the second time I had done an outlaw plot. I killed this deer on the edge of an outlaw plot, but I grounded him anyway. So this is when I started talking about.
He wasn't eating the plot, but he was in it.
Yep. So this is before I was talking about outlaw plots on Facebook, any of that stuff. broadcasting a cereal grain or brassica into a standing soybean field is where I'm going at with this. So this is going back 15 or 13 years or whatever. It's the second time I had done it in beans, and they were corn beans, so it would have been the second time I'd done it. So going on 15 years ago, I've been doing outlaw plots. I had a good stand location in a maple tree over on my grandmother's farm. Killed a bunch of deer out of that stand. I've killed a lot of does out of that stand. It's a great stand. You got to have a funky kind of south something wind with it, or a northeast wind works pretty good with it too. Southeast, northeast, straight east works good with it, and that's what I had that morning. I had a funky northeast wind. And I walked across this bean stubble with a frost, and it was like walking on broken eggshells. It was the noisiest walk I'd ever had. It sucked. So I walked in that morning and had some does trickle through in the food plot, eating some brassica, stuff like that. And then I tried to do a little bit of rattling, grunting, snort wheezing, and caught some movement across the bean field. This video is on the YouTube channel. If anybody wants to see it.
What was the date?
This is November 4th.
So the crunching might have helped you.
Could have been.
If he couldn't smell you or see you, but he could hear you, during that time, he might have been curious to see what was... Because sometimes making noise will actually pique your curiosity.
Spark what's going on, sure. Especially if it's the right cadence. But this was, I don't know, probably 2-3 hours maybe after daybreak. It was a morning set. I slipped into the spot because, again, I didn't have a lot of stands for that funky wind. And so I got in there, I grunted, and there's an old gravel pit, and I saw him come up. Either came from in the gravel pit or around the gravel pit. I couldn't quite tell. But I saw the movement, came across the ditch, and there's video of it on the YouTube page if you guys want to go see it. It's really long. I didn't edit it very much at all. But you're kind of really in the moment and living it. He comes across the ditch, and I could have shot him there. And then he kind of turns, and he comes down the field edge. And he kind of nibbles on the brassicas a little bit. Like, he kind of comes out in the field, and he's looking, and he's like, all right, where's this deer that I kind of heard? And then he goes to turn to walk away, and I snort wheeze, and he picks his head up and snaps it and looks back at me, and I go, well, he's either going to run or he's going to commit. And he starts walking across the field, couldn't really tell where I guess it was coming from. And he comes across the field, starts walking kind of diagonal. I think he was trying to cut wind, is what I think he was trying to do. And I bump my camera arm or something, you'll see it in the video, and he just goes, looks right up at me in the tree. And I'm not drawing yet, and I'm like,
I think I can picture the video.
Yep, and he just kind of looks, does that kind of head bob, and he starts doing that
the stomp,
step, and I drew back, and in one motion I put it on him and shot him, and I took off top of his heart. We went over and piled up in the bean field, the cut bean field. So the video is up on YouTube with that one. I think this was at that time maybe the third buck we'd taken off of Grandma's in all the years of hunting it. Mostly just from, I guess, being selective or whatever way you want to refer to it as, but that was kind of...
What do you think he scores?
He was 105.
I was going to say
and change.
100 to 110.
Yep, he was 105 and change. Nice twos, good beams, good brows,
I like his crab claw on this side.
Yeah, he's got cool crabs. At the time, that would have been my second buck with the bow. So, definitely a cool one to talk about. So, yep, and his nose was actually broken. Again, we found this out after we caped him out. His nose was actually broken, and that's why this didn't ever stay with it. So his nose was actually all broken, and it was kind of swelled up a little bit, so maybe that's why he didn't smell me that morning either. I don't know how his schnoz was working, but it wasn't working very good after I sent that arrow through him. And I was shooting a bear method, I want to say.
My first bow was a bear.
And I shot him with this Carbon Raider arrow right here.
Walmart special.
Walmart special, baby. The Carbon Raider. And I think I was shooting muzzies at the time. I never did find my broadhead. Or maybe I was killing so many deer that year, I probably unscrewed it and shot more deer with it.
Mm-hmm.
And put new blades on it. So, but now usually all my archery bucks got the arrow and the broadhead. So, yep. And that was back when I was ripping the fletchings off. And that was when, if you guys remember these, the quick fletches were big with the boiling water.
Mm-hmm.
And you used to just dip them in the water and just whoosh. I remember doing these in my, I had an apartment in Bloomfield. And I was doing them on the stove in my apartment. I was putting the fletchings on them. The quick fletches. Yeah. So, cool buck. And that was a good one to pick because it's funny because that was the year I killed like 7, 8 deer.
So it kind of went along.
Yeah, it went along with the theme. It was perfect. So, yeah, we're going to try to keep doing that. You know, a buck story every episode, or maybe we'll weave in a turkey or two or something else along the way. I think it'll stay as it.
No. Yeah.
He's got too much forward lean on his tines, but
yeah, that about wraps it up.
Yeah, I think that covers it pretty good. I will post a link to the regulations here in the comments section, and I will also. I'm surprised Bo didn't. I'll put a link there in the comments section of the video, so folks that are tuning in can see it. As well as we'll put a link in the final upload on YouTube as well. That way, if anybody's looking to read the presser for themselves, they can. So, appreciate everybody's thoughts and comments on this tonight. Thank you all for checking this out. We'll be curious on how this is going to change the deer herd going forward, or if it's not going to change it at all, and we're all just making a big deal out of nothing. You know, time will tell. So I just hope they get good data and good numbers, so they can make the best educated decisions going forward on it with our deer seasons and our wildlife populations, so that future generations can enjoy them. And we're not going, oh crap, we've shot the living snot out of them, and now we have to backpedal.
Mm-hmm.
So, alrighty. Anything else, Nate?
I'm good.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you all next time.
See you.